There is a place hidden amongst the mountains of West Virginia, a wilderness of open meadows, sphagnum bogs, and streams, of dense red spruce forest and wind-blasted boulder fields. A landscape not often found in this region and carries its own theme. Enter Dolly Sods. It was late fall when we headed up north to West Virginia, as the mountains show off its last remaining colors of the season. Dolly Sods is a wilderness area in the Monongahela National Forest, a high-altitude plateau on the Allegheny Mountains. The place has a unique ecosystem from its neighboring area that is normally found much farther north in Canada. Dolly Sods got its name from the Dolly family of German descent, who grazed the open grassy fields in the mid-1800s. The plan was to hike Bear Rocks and Lion's Head Loop Trail counterclockwise in 2.5 days. Adding to its uniqueness, it was used as a bomb range during World War II prior to sending the army to Europe. It was a cold and windy day as we started off the hike. Nevertheless, we were full of optimism. We reached our first junction and made sure not to take the infamous Dubbin Grade Trail, known for its knee-deep bogs. The trail was frozen and slippery, but we pushed forward with enthusiasm. kind of in an open area, and maybe going back on our second night we'll stay here because it's just 1 mile from our car, but we'll see. Eventually, the wilderness opened up and welcomed us with its open meadow. Preparing for lunch. Sotanghon and beef jerky.
Out.
After the quick break, the hike continues. We reach a campsite at the edge of the plateau, overlooking the valley below. Surely an awesome sight on any other season. The hike was slow as we have to maneuver every step, making sure not to dip or slip on the icy trail.
I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. And love is all around me.
As we reached the boulder fields, we took a vantage point to see the surrounding landscape. A pair of eyes stared at us from a distance. In fact, 3 pairs, wary of our presence. Unknown to us at the time, Dolly Sods is a hunting ground and was archery season, learning after coming across 3 hunters during the course of 2 days. Trails are not clearly marked and lost our way a few times. We eventually found our way and since then heavily rely on Gaia GPS to point the right direction every unmarked junction. Further down Big Stone Cold Trail, we found a suitable campsite. Yeah, good campsite. So we have trees around us, live trees. There's water just a few feet away, and we have a fire pit.
Okay, let's start. Sinangag, fried rice.
Gakon ka? Down jacket ka?
Barmer.
Good morning. It has been a cold night. Let's check the temperature. Are you okay?
Yeah, okay. Still alive and kicking. It's warm.
The adjacent meadow was like a cotton field in the morning from frost. The temperature was below freezing that we have to keep our water bottles inside our bag to prevent water from freezing. Rice last night. It's solid. It's frozen. Growing up most of our lives in the tropics gives us a simple pleasure. As exhaling smoke from cold weather, we were like kids again.
Murag smoke ba? Murag ka smoking ka.
In time, we broke camp and headed off to the dense forest in search of the elusive Lion's Head, an outcrop overlooking Red Creek Canyon. We soon came upon a marsh-like opening in the forest, like a scene out of a fairy tale where fairies and elves exist. 1, 2, 3, go! Couldn't resist to find out how frozen the pond is.
Oranges!
Same color as your shirt.
Water in Dolly Sods is reddish brown in color, perhaps from the vegetation in the area. We then made a quick stop to admire the waterfall just along the trail. We passed by the first route to Lion's Head and took the second route further down the trail instead, only to find out that it was a rock scramble.
Don't follow this trail. It is dangerous and it's a rock scramble.
Ultimately, we made it on top of the outcrop but had to spend several minutes spotting the beast, almost giving up on the search as the terrain involves dangerous boulder hopping. And there it was, overlooking the canyon, a sentinel of its own realm. A close resemblance to Thundercat's lair overlooking the domain. We then reward ourselves with a meal overlooking the canyon.
This is how you eat boy bawang with style.
Karon po kitag ikaw boy bawang gig. Spoon.
Guess what? Jerky.
We decided to take the first route to get back on the main trail, as the route we took was too risky to descend with our backpacks. There were several good campsites we passed.
If you guys are hiking the Bear Rocks Trail to Lion's Head Loop counterclockwise, don't make a mistake of taking this second route towards Lion's Head, because although it says on the map that it's shorter, this is more of a steep climb, more of a rock scramble, and it is dangerous. So the best way is to take the first route in and first route out. Just be safe.
The rest of the Rocky Point Trail and a good portion of Red Creek Trail is very rocky. Just like the icy trail the day before us, we have to maneuver every step to prevent twisting our ankle. We picked up a hitchhiker along the way, Luis from Maryland. His group decided to back out on their scheduled backpacking trip. Reason he backpacked solo. I admire this lad's adventurous spirit.
Through evolution, I haven't been doing a lot of times, so that's why the cloth is shorter.
We pushed as far as we could hike, but eventually had to pick a makeshift campsite as the surrounding area began to grow dark. Luis, with his tarp set up, decided to head on the nearby cluster of pines, a couple hundred meters from us, while Bubsy and I decided on a more open site, away from any widowmaker trees. We have to conserve water as we missed topping up on the last water source, meaning no coffee for tonight.
No?
Numb. Ang tiil. Numb.
So, as usual, we missed our second camp again. We're having dinner, rice and sardines.
This one. 4.
So we'll just pack up early tomorrow morning.
Here. Cold. Cold feet.
Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow morning.
Good night. Bacon.
Louis headed out early and bid him farewell. We finished our breakfast and followed soon after.
Kalapukan, kadaruhan, ang daruhan. Di maglarong lapo.
We could hear the crispy sound of frozen mud on every step. It was a big relief to finally come across a water source.
From the creek. From the creek.
And as we neared the end of our journey, we spent every moment appreciating and enjoying the wilderness. Drops of rain started to sprinkle down on us as we reached our final steps. But nor rain or sleet keeps me from enjoying a refreshing drink. After all, we survived everything the wilderness throws at us, from freezing nights to muddy and rocky trails to losing our way. It's a maze of a wilderness. But the best part was meeting other backpackers and the wilderness experience. Dolly Sods. Very rocky, so muddy,